Hi guys, welcome to Kay's Crochet Boutique, hashtag Crochet Unusual. We are stepping out of the normal with crochet, and I'm going to show you how to do it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, it's a fairly easy pattern. You're going to use pretty much a chain stitch and a half double crochet stitch throughout the entire pattern. You're going to need 3 different pieces for the large, medium, and the small pumpkin that is on top. Go ahead and mix and match those colors. For this particular one, I'm going to use teal just because I like different. I like something that is unusual, hence the name Crochet Unusual. I just like to mix and match anything that I can to make it beautiful. For the first pattern, for the first layer, you're going to need, for the first large pumpkin, you're going to need chain 35, which is going to make 34 half double crochets, and you're going to do that for 42 lines. The second pumpkin, which is the medium pumpkin, you're going to do chain 30, which is 29 half double crochets, and you're going to do that for 37 lines. And then the very last pumpkin, which is the smaller pumpkin, it's going to be chain 25, which is 24 half double crochets, and you're going to do that for 32 lines. This is basically the pattern. I am going to have it on my Etsy channel for anyone who needs the written version, but I just pretty much gave you everything you're going to need. You're going to need some stuffing to stuff your pumpkins with. You're going to need a threading needle and whatever yarn or cord you choose to use. I use 2mm Bonnie cord just because I happen to love Bonnie cord, and you can fuse it to extend it. You don't have to have that ugly knot at the end, or just try weaving it in. It just fuses right together. And any type of flower arrangement that you choose to put together, I put everything on mine just to make it different. A little bit of these just to make the colors pop. I found these cute pumpkins at Joann's. Right now, their fall decorations are 70% off, and that's about the best that I have seen so far. And I went to all the stores. I love Hobby Lobby's flowers and plants, but I'm going to just be honest with you. My budget does not say $10 a flower right now. But I mean, if you want to, and then I'm looking at the fact, I mean, I just believe in using wisdom when it comes to crafting. If you're going to use those flowers, I'm not knocking Hobby Lobby or its flowers, you guys. Don't get me wrong. If you're going to use them as a floral decoration for your house, I would definitely choose Hobby Lobby because it's for your house. But if you're using it to resell, you want to try to get the best price available, and the best price that I have seen so far is at Joann's right now. Because when you're repricing these products, you have to kind of, your area makes a difference in how you sell your goods. Because I'll just be honest with you, some people are cheap and so others understand your craft. I mean, so you have to pretty much know the area that you're in and the area that you're selling to. I particularly am in the area of North Carolina, and the audience here fluctuates. I have a craft event this weekend, so I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money, because normally when I go to craft events, I'm at everybody else's table shopping with the money that I made. I don't know if anybody else has that issue, but that's my weakness, and you know, that's my business. So again, you're going to need 3 pieces. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to use yellow, and I'm just going to make a large pumpkin right now because I think I'm going to use one to make a smaller version of what we, pretty much what you just saw in the beginning of the video. You're going to start out with a slip knot. And again, this is the large pumpkin, and you're just going to chain 35. And this is my chain 35, which came out to be about 13 inches. I forgot to tell you, if you're going to be using this kind of cord, I used a 5mm hook for mine. As you can see in all of my videos, I use a 5mm hook, and in this particular hook in particular, because this is my go-to hook. I don't know if you guys have a go-to hook, but I just can't live without this silver hook. I have plenty of 5mm hook, but this hook right here, it just, I don't know. It's something about it that just says you have to use it. I don't know. Maybe it's OCD. Try not to claim it, but realistically, all of us have our issues. So we're going to go ahead and do our 34 half double crochets. And to do that, you're just going to loop under. And then you're going to go into the third, stitch from the hook. And then you're going to pull through all 3 loops. So again, I'm trying to make it so where you guys can see it. You're going to do a half double crochet, loop under, and then you're going to go into your chain stitch, and then you're going to pull your thread through. So you should have 3 lines on your hook, and then you're just going to loop again, and then you're going to pull that chain all the way through. Because generally what you would do, this is a full double crochet. You're just going to loop under, and then you're going to do that chain, and then you can do it again. But we're not doing that. We're doing a half double crochet, eliminating that middle step. So let's go ahead and do our 34 half double crochets, and I crochet very tightly. So if you're able to crochet a little bit looser, it does help a little bit when you're threading the pumpkin. But I can't do that. So this is the first row, and this is row 1. So 1 through, how many lines did I say? 42. You're just going to repeat this process and do a half double crochet the remaining of this pattern. Well, this sheet, or whatever you want to call it. And you're going to do this with all 3 pumpkins. I used half double crochet for this particular pumpkin. Y'all talk to me. How do you price your products when you go to craft fairs, or when you're looking at how to sell them on your Etsy shop? Give me some ideas. I'm looking for ideas as well. We're all in this together. We're all growing. Everybody, there's money to be made for everybody. So I don't mind sharing my secrets with you guys. I'm going to do a little video a little bit later on tips and tricks that I have found when I want to save a little bit of money on different products, because I do bags as well and earrings, and just a little bit of ways I found to save when I am looking for, you know, products to purchase to make my products. So we are almost at our 34th half double crochet, and then we are going to start line 2. I'm sorry, y'all, I don't crochet that fast. It doesn't help that I crochet tight, but at least you'll know how to do it. So this is my first stretched out line 1, my first line, and that came out to be about 12 inches, I am just going to chain 1 to get to my line, my second line. And this is what it looks like. And on line 2 through 42, you're just going to repeat the same process. We're going to go into the back loop of our first double crochet and do a half double crochet. So that's how you're going to get that kind of zigzag pattern. You're just going to go into the back loop of each of the next couple of lines. And again, we're going for 42 half double crochets into each line. Each line, when you go into the next line, you're just going to go into the back loop and do half double crochets throughout the remaining of the pattern. And again, you just repeat this process. It's fairly easy to make. I may do just one more line just so you can see how it is worked up. Let me get a little bit more of this cord. You guys, if you know any good places to get cord, macrame cord, I like the polypropylene. Try saying that twice fast. I like the polypropylene cord because you can fuse that cord together. And then, you know, it does help with materials because you're not wasting so much, excuse me. But if you know a good vendor, I've been looking online. Most of the ones I look at on Etsy are across seas, and I have not mustered up the strength to shop for cord because the last time I did, the cord was just horrible. It fell apart when I got it, and I just don't want to do it. And then the vendors that I see on Etsy from America, I don't knock anybody's product and pricing, but Jesus, $20 for a thing of cord. Maybe I was looking at the wrong vendor. I don't know. But one ball of cord, $20. I'm sorry. I just have to budget for whatever I'm making and resell it. And, you know, if I'm using $100 worth of cord, realistically, I want to make a profit off of my time and what I'm selling. So it's that's a bit steep for reselling process. So this is our second line. And I feel like I'm talking you guys' head off, but I know you don't want to just sit here and look at the video. If you do, just turn the volume down. And that's what it looks like with 2 lines. We're going to do one more line, and you should pretty much have the process down. And then I'm going to go through the next step with you. So again, just chain 1 and then half double crochet into the back loop of the very next stitch. And I may not finish this one to show you the next step. I might just go ahead and use the pieces that I have already completed. So if the colors change, don't freak out. It's just because I used the pieces that I have already completed for sake of video. Y'all tag me in your products. Tag me in the floral arrangements that you make. Just let me see their cute colors. I want to see what you guys are making, what you guys put together. This goes into Christmas. I'm already getting orders for Christmas for these bouquets. Just change up the colors, and you don't have to necessarily make them as pumpkins. Just when I do the next step, I'll explain it to you. So we are about done with our third line. I just wanted to show you guys pretty much what it looks like, what the pattern continues to look like after you are half double crocheting into the back loops. And this is what the pattern is looking like. This is how it's working up. So when you make your pumpkin, it should have that indent, you know, to make that pattern, that look, give that, you know, indented look. All right, now let's go on and move on to the next step. All right, so we are back and we are completed with our, you should be completed with all three of your pumpkin pieces, the small, medium, and large piece. I'm going to show you the next step using the smaller pumpkin. And this is what it's going to look like with the ridged pieces. It's roughly 17 inches in length by almost 8 inches. So you're going to need, for this, you're going to need your stuffing and you're going to need your needle. So I went through my top part of my pumpkin with the top part of the ridges part, if that makes sense. Excuse my words, y'all. So pretty much go into the top loop, the first loop of the ridges. Each of these ridges, you're just going to go into the very first loop so that you can string this all together with your needle. And I just went all the way around, and I'm going to do the bottom part the same exact way. Ew. Okay. Okay, I see where I got stuck at. I'm going through all of my ridges. I'm not left-handed, so this is not going the quickest for me. Let me just turn it around. I can't do that left-handed. And if it's something I can explain differently, don't hesitate to leave a comment. I generally try to respond to all of my comments, just in case anybody needs to, you know, help elaborate a little bit more what I'm talking about, because sometimes I do tend to talk a little bit fast. So I have my thread all the way through, and then I'm going to go through the last chain stitch with it, and then I'm going to go back through the beginning of the last row with my cord so that I could tie it together. And then you're just going to pull, tightening the bottom of that. You see how that did? That is so cute. I love this color. I'm so happy I went with this choice. And then for the sides, because I don't want to, I mean, you can tie off and just sew up the sides and then do the same for the bottom, but I don't want to break off my cord. So I am just going to take my thread and go back and forth in the bottom loop of each of my last row and the chain stitch of my beginning row, and sew this. That's how I'm going to sew this together so it doesn't look so bulky. You know how you have that big bulky piece at the end when you are doing the sewn part. I don't want that, so I'm going to do mine this way. Make sure you keep this end tight though when you're doing it. And then okay, so I'm gonna pause the, well, no, I'm not. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I was gonna pause it so you don't have to sit there through this process, but a little patience goes you a long way. And I just do this until I get to the end. It may be easier to hold it together. And for my ends, to cover up that hole at the bottom, you're going to, you can either do the stem. I don't use a stem for mine. I just put, you know, flowers over it just because it is a bouquet. But I'll show you pretty much how to make a stem if you're wanting to put a stem on your pumpkin. And also, your stuffing, I told you I have all kinds of ways that I choose to save, but, you know, call it what you will. It's just my choice. If you want one that does not mind spending a little extra, definitely go right ahead. But I just feel like for crafters that are, you know, reselling their items, you know, just save a little bit if you can, because a lot of people don't realize those little things that you do can be costly if you're not budgeting correctly. So at this point, you could pretty much go ahead and go around the bottom of the pumpkin to create the same effect that you did for, you know, the top of it. And you're just going to go into that very first stitch, just like you did the other half of, just don't pull the string because you have to add your stuffing. As you can see, I have my stuffing. You can see a little bit of it. But the tip I was going to give you all is for that, what is it called? Polyfill stuffing. I don't know about y'all, but it's a little high. It's like $20 for a small box in my area. $25. And by the time, because I like my stuffing to, I don't like my products to really move unless I'm doing like a plushie or something like that, where it's supposed to be, you know, smushy and mushy where that people can, you know, snuggle with it. But if I'm doing something like this, I tend to pack it pretty tightly, which causes me to use a lot of that polyfill. Again, it's $25 in my area for a small box or bag. I looked yesterday, and I think the cheapest I could have gotten it was $20. But for this product, I would have had to buy at least 2 or 3 of those bags, and I did not want to spend $60 on polyfill just to make this pumpkin set, being that I already used about 5 skeins of this yarn, and this is 100 yard yarn. Ugh, excuse my language there, y'all. But you just, at this point, you're just going to add in your fill. And I use, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't buy the polyfill. Like I just said, I go right to Walmart. Walmart has a great selection of $3 pillows. And I buy those $3 pillows. And I cut them open. And I take their polyfill. So I'm getting the same amount of product for a very cheap price. $3. And I'm not mad about doing it. Not embarrassed at all. When you finish that, you're going to pretty much tie, well, pull your cord so that you can make that. Isn't that cute? That is the cutest. If you're going to do the Christmas centerpieces, I wouldn't recommend doing the next step. I would just leave it this way and then add your decorations around it, because a lot of people don't use pumpkins during Christmas. I mean, you can, but I just think even just as this looks the way it does, it's more of a Christmas feel. It's more of a Christmas ball feel. If you're going to use flowers, what I tend to do with my openings, I'll use like on the top of it as I add my bouquet. I just add like different flowers on top of it. And the bottom for the big piece, I take one of these off of the flowers and I just add it. Let me see if I can take this off. Yeah. I just add it to the bottom like that. I just hot glue it. So the bottom is going to look like that. And then the top is going to have the flowers on top. But that's my little trick for that. And again, I don't use polyfill. I just go to Walmart and buy $3 pillows. If you're going to do this as a pumpkin, as you tighten this, you can tie it to your piece that's left over. I'm going to end up, you know, cutting it with the scissors. I'll go ahead and do it now so you can see what I'm doing. That's why I like this cord. I just simply cut it. Use a lighter to get that little, ooh, that was hot. And then I just seal it in there so it doesn't move. And then for to create the pumpkin piece, you're just going to thread it through your whole pumpkin. And this is what I'm showing you with the smaller pumpkin because it's easier for me to thread than it is, you know, with a larger one, because I'm using cord and the cord is a little bit more sturdier. And I'm going to pull that in. You see how cute that is? That is so cute. And then I'm going to wrap this around in different directions for my pumpkin. I probably do this one in 4 because it's so small. So when you pull the cord through, just pull it around your pumpkin, whichever direction you want that line to be in. Thread your needle right back through. I'm just trying to get that needle. So I want my line to be right there. So I'm going to pull that tightly, if you can see what I'm doing. And that creates that little ridge, that little bump for the pumpkin. And then I'm going to come in on another side. And I'm probably going to do that right there. Same thing. And then thread that needle through. And I'm going to pull that through, creating another ridge for the pumpkin. Oh, I did that one too tight. And make sure you do it in the creases so it does not make your pumpkin look a little bit off. You see how it's beginning to get that pumpkin shape. And then I'm probably going to do one more. I'm just going to do one more. Generally, people do about 6, but I'm using cord, so I'm probably just going to do these 3 for this small one. The bigger ones normally have about 4 to 6 of these little loops. And then I'm going to pull that side through. There's my little pumpkin. Isn't it cute? It is the absolute cutest. And I will show you what mine came out to look like after I complete all of the pieces. I hope this helps you guys make yours very cute. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to put your comments and your questions in the comments. And just stay tuned for the next couple of seconds, and then I'll give you what mine came out to look like. Okay? All right, and this is the finished product. This is how it came out. I probably could have used a little bit more, well, a little bit of teal in the flowering, but I did not have any to link the pieces together. All I did was just tie a string from my first pumpkin to my, well, my bottom pumpkin to my top pumpkin, and it kind of stuck them together a little bit. I mean, you can seal it if you want to. Most people don't seal the pumpkins together just to kind of, you know, create a different illusion. And sometimes, you know, you don't want it to be this big. But I'm happy with my results. Hopefully, you know, somebody else likes it as much as I do. It's just my creating something different so that someone else can enjoy crochet in a different type of way. Not everyone likes blankets, not everyone likes earrings, but most people love home decor and just things to put in their house. And this is, I feel like, a great fall piece. And if you have any questions, always you can hit me up at my email. My contact information is always in the descriptions. I hope this video helps. If I can help with anything else, let me know. Bye.